about the old cartoon? It was on Nickelodeon, and it was a dog with the color, and it was like, oh, we found a clue. Blue's Clues. Yeah. Oh, you said that normal. Yeah. We don't. I'm learning so much from you, Russell. Just all pop up on my nerves, see? And I was just happy. I was geek. Why are you laughing? Nothing. I'm sorry.
Big Wayne, what's up, my brother? I appreciate you, man. Just gonna wait for some more people to come in before we get it crack-a-lacking. So people want to actually let me know they're here. People like to just come in and spy. Just lay low. Be incognito. I don't have an age. And I ain't even gonna try to say that name. God damn. That was a good response. I like that. I like that. That response to how old are you? Hey, I'm glad you clarified that, Alana. Because I was looking at good what? And I'm really sitting here trying to figure that out. Like, what does that mean? What's up, Alicia? There you go, Wayne. Thank you. Age is a man-made concept. We're all eternal beings. You know, we are not these bodies. Like, none of y'all are looking at me right now. Y'all are just looking at the vessel that I'm in. You're looking at the vehicle that I navigate this earth through. You're not looking at me. You know, just if, like, you know, you saw me driving a car. You know, the car is not me. I'm in the car. And you probably won't even be able to see me. You know what I'm saying? Depending on certain things, you know. But like, you can't see me at all. You can only see me. How can I say this? Like, it's just it's a different way of seeing. You know, our physical sight, that's not the way you see somebody. You have to look with your spiritual sight. Right? So this may be tough to explain. But you can only see someone through observation, and not observation of their exterior, but observation of their interior. Right? Like we tend to be drawn to people based on their physical appearance. Right? Of course, based on materialistic things also, based on status and different things. What do you do for a living? How much money you make? Blah, blah, blah. These are the types of things that we tend to be attracted to. These are the types of things we tend to look for in a partner. You could never get to know anybody like that, though. You can never see anybody like that. You can only get to know somebody through observation of their character. You have to listen to their words. Look at their actions. Look at their habits. What do they like to do for fun? What are their hobbies? Who are their friends? It's a spiritual sense. You can only know somebody or see somebody through your spiritual senses. And so, that throws everybody off because nobody's looking at other people in that way. Nobody's using their spiritual senses at all. That's why it's so easy to get deceived and manipulated and tricked. People get lied to, people are in abusive relate, like all this shit that could have all been avoided if you would have used your spiritual senses when you were looking at that person instead of your physical senses. Your physical senses are, we definitely need them, but there's a time and a place or a season. Like, you're not supposed to live solely by your by your physical senses. And you can't live solely by your spiritual senses either. Because we are not just experiencing life as human beings. We are also spirit beings. We are spirit beings having human experiences. That means we are two in one. You know what I mean? We are spirit and we are human. Well, we're not human, but we're having the human experience. So it's like you live two lives at the same time, like simultaneously. And both are necessary in this physical realm. But you have to know when to use your spiritual senses, when to use your physical senses. So I won't spend a lot of time on that. I don't know if that made sense to anybody. But that's right, Stuart. That's right. That's right, Denigi. What's up, Trevor? What's up, Aaron? What's up, Sunchild? How you doing, Mancha? I like that. Alana said, I say I'm timeless and I don't age. Yeah. Time isn't real. Time is not real. Like, religious people are looking to, they're looking forward to life in eternity when they die, right? Christians think, that they die, they go to heaven, and they spend eternity with their God. Muslims think the same thing, and they both have different gods. But the fact of the matter is, we're in eternity right now. This is eternity because time is not real. So they're waiting for something that they're in right now. There's no dimension of time and then dimension of eternity. They're not separate. All there is eternity. It's impossible for it to be any other way. Now, our experiences are temporary. Our experiences are, you know what I mean? These are not permanent or eternal experiences. We won't be, as far as I know anyway, we won't experience life as human beings forever, eternally, like throughout eternity. I don't know. Like, I could be wrong. But I mean, shit, the original people would have experienced life. The original people, as I know, I don't know who the original people were. I can't say I know. But according to the story in the Bible, the original people would have lived life eternally as humans if they would not have chosen to know death. They wanted to know death. They wanted to experience death. So they ate from that tree. If they wouldn't have wanted to have that experience of good and evil and, you know, life and death, they'd have never died. Eating physical food keeps us stuck in this physical realm. I don't know about that, bro. You care to explain that? Because, you know, the original people ate physical food and they were immortal. Stoli, what up, though? Was just talking about this regarding birthdays. That day you were born never comes back. Time is a construct. We're in the matrix. You know, birthdays are like, I know people love their birthdays, but that's some dumbass shit. And it was listening to Prince talk that shined the light on it for me. He was on a talk show and he was like, and they asked him something about that. And he was like, how many times are you born? Right, into this world, into this physical world. You're only born one time. So, like me, for example, I was born into this physical world in 71, June 14th, 1971. When June 14th, 2025 comes around, that is not my fucking birthday. You know what I'm saying? So I don't even associate with birthdays. I don't associate with them. I don't even like hearing people talk about it, celebrating nothing. I don't even want that anywhere in my awareness or in my consciousness. Because all it really does is keep you focused on this whole thing that you're getting, this lie that you're getting older. And, you know, many people are getting older. Most people are, well, they're not getting older, but their bodies are getting older. And it's because of how they eat. It's because they poison their bodies every day. In fact, you're not really like people say, you know, they're getting older, but really what's happening is they're getting sicker. That's what's happening because they're poisoning their bodies with what they're putting in it. That's what's really happening. And people think that's normal. And it's just amazing. Like, nobody's connecting the dots. You can't say anything is normal until you're eating exactly how you're supposed to eat 100% of the time. And unless somebody could prove me wrong, like with some actual proof, you're supposed to be eating fruit. Or I'll say this. You're supposed to be eating from the earth what the earth produces in its natural state. That's how you're supposed to eat. Whatever that is. If you like eating vegetables as the earth produced them in their raw natural state, you're eating from the earth. You're eating what nature produced. Or you could say you're eating what God produced. That's not how people eat, though. Like, who do you know that only eats fruits and vegetables? Or say, who only eats what nature provided in its natural state? Like, who do you know that's doing that? And I'm not talking about that's been doing it for 30 days. I'm talking about that has some time in it. You know, I don't even fall in that. I'm talking about 10 years, 20 years, all their life. Who do you know that's been doing it all their life? I don't know anybody. So you can't say what's normal basing it on people that poison their bodies. You know, and the only example that I have is in the story of Adam and Eve. Because when they were eating just from the earth, when they were eating the fruits from the trees, you didn't read anything about death or sickness, disease, suffering of any kind. It was paradise. It was bliss. They didn't even have a sin consciousness. And ultimately, well, I'm not going to say that's the only thing, but people never talk about the sin consciousness. And it's really that sin consciousness that destroys us. They didn't have a sin consciousness back then. They didn't have a concept of right and wrong, good or evil, or any of those things. They didn't receive that until they ate from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. As soon as they ate from the tree, now their eyes were open to good and evil. They didn't know that before. That's why they walked around, which I don't understand this part, but they walked around naked, right? They weren't ashamed or anything. As soon as they ate from that tree, the first thing they did was make some clothes and put them on. Soon as they ate from that tree, their eyes were open and they were ashamed to be unclothed. They were embarrassed. And they clothed themselves right away. It's that sin, which I don't understand how that's sinful. Like I can't make the connection there, but that was the experience. And like you see that sin conscious dominant in the lives of everyone today. Right and wrong. Right and wrong. Right and wrong. Right and wrong. You know what I'm saying? So I just been getting away from that. And to a degree, because people will tell me things that, you know, they feel I said that were wrong or whatever. And I can't even understand it. Hey, what's wrong about it? I don't know what's wrong about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was talking to my mom the other day and I was like, and I was saying something and I said the word fuck. And she was like, oh, ho, you don't have to curse now. And I didn't understand what was wrong with it. Like, I'm not cursing. I didn't speak harm over you. I didn't speak harm over anybody. I just said you didn't give a fuck. Like, I don't see what's wrong. Like, you can't convince me that that's wrong. You know, and I noticed that there's several different areas. I just, people try to, tell me that it's bad or it's wrong. And I just don't see it. And so, I'm gonna leave that alone. Let me see what y'all talking about in the comments. What up, Joe Town? Yeah, it's just a programming thing. It's a programming thing. It's another programming tactic. And and this is what Prince said. It just constantly reminds you that, or keeps you in the mind state that you're getting older. When again, you are not getting older at all. And if you ate right, your body wouldn't either. Again, that's what we call aging, is sickness and disease. It's bodily poisoning. So, what up, Sweet Fruit? What up, Adam? How is damn a curse word? What am I eating? Some dates. Walnuts. This is one of my favorite weight gain combinations. What's up, Christian? You may have heard me say this before, but when I finished the watermelon cleanse this year, I was underweight. Like, I was severely underweight. I didn't even know. I was having a lot of issues in the body. I lost my voice. Like, I had a hoarse voice, like, permanently. A lot of issues I was having. So, through just seeking for answers, wanting to know what was going on, I was made aware of the fact that I was underweight. So this is one of my weight gain combinations. You don't have to eat no bullshit to gain weight. You could eat food and gain weight. You could eat fruit and gain weight. You don't have to eat none of this man-made, unnatural, toxic bullshit to gain weight, if that's what you need to do. You ain't explaining nothing, son child. Yeah, the nuts give you the healthy fats. Like avocado. Well, Alana, I can't say Adam and Eve were real. Right? But that story, like reading that story, I see that today in modern day life. So I quote that a lot. Because every time we eat today, we're choosing good or evil. You know what I'm saying? Every time we eat, we're choosing life or death. Every time we eat, we're eating from God's table or Satan's table. And all of these terms I use just for ease of communication because people understand what these terms mean. I don't believe in any of these things like the way I say it. But the way I say it, it would just take a long time to communicate it. So I just use terms that people are more commonly familiar with because I don't have terms to explain what I know. Because this divine power and intelligence that's controlling everything, if I said it the way I understand it, then people wouldn't it wouldn't resonate with people. Like people wouldn't feel it. They wouldn't know what I'm talking about. So I say it in ways that they know what I'm talking about. So, but yeah, you can see how the story of Adam and Eve parallels with life today. That's why I like using that story. Being underweight, do I think it was the water? It wasn't the watermelon. It was just the fact that that's all I was eating, and for such a long period of time. I ate nothing but watermelon for 104 days. And I was only eating fruit before that since last year. So, all those things come into play. You know what I mean? I was at a calorie deficit, and the watermelon cleanse is just very beneficial, extremely beneficial, shorter term. But you getting up into 70, 80, 90, 100 plus days, especially being as clean as I already was. If you start off, say, like overweight, you can go longer. Like my first year on the watermelon cleanse, I did 160 days. But I wasn't eating just fruit before that. Before that, I was eating a lot of unhealthy, toxic, addictive vegan bullshit. And I ain't gonna say I was overweight, but I had a lot more weight on me when I started that cleanse than I did when I started the cleanse this year. So I had a little more room to play with. This year I was pretty clean inside because all I had been eating was fruit for over a year. So that's what caused me to be underweight. And then, I wasn't checking my weight. I wasn't standing on scales or I was just going by how I was feeling. And although I was experiencing a lot of issues physically, I still felt great. Like I didn't want to stop, but I had to stop. So, and then I'm still working out. Like I'm on a watermelon cleanse, just eating watermelon. I'm still working out. I'm working out with weights. I think I want to say I was doing some HIIT training, high intensity interval training. I'm still like very active, very physical, but I'm only consuming watermelon. And like I said, 30 days is cool. 45 days, I did it for over 100 though. So burning a lot more calories than I was eating. Burning a lot more. You know what I'm saying? So hey, working out in a fasted state can be really powerful. And yeah, you can have a tremendous, it can be surprising how much energy you can have to work out on a fasted state. Like that's what I would do if I'm wanting to like cut up get ripped and shredded, that's what I do. I work out on a fasted day. I work out on an empty stomach. And then that also kind of influences what you eat when you get done working out. You know what I'm saying? Real powerful. If you want to lose weight, that's real powerful. Go to the gym on an empty stomach. Yeah, Stuart, you just talking, man. You ain't saying nothing. You ain't giving no proof. You just talking, bro. You just talking, man. You just saying a bunch of shit and you not offering nothing, no resources or nothing to offer any kind of proof. I don't listen to shit like that. Big, hey Joe, we don't have no topic. There's no topic. I don't know what you mean by the big Florida avocados. I'm not sure what you mean. I know I've had, I believe it's called a Gigantor avocado before. It came in a fruit box that I ordered. It was big. It was big. Like I couldn't even eat the whole thing. It was big. And I've had that like that. It tasted like a regular avocado to me though. Now you say if you have when you say which one you like better, like how do you mean? Like which one I like better between like the regular avocados and the really large ones? Yeah, I'm eating the dates, the walnuts. I eat macadamias, avocados. But yeah, I may still be a little underweight, but I'm nowhere near how I was because I don't want to put the weight on too fast. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to rush the weight on. You know what I'm saying? So I'm putting weight on, but I'm eating the way I'm eating. I'm adding weight, but I'm also working out. And I'm working out every day. And I've been sticking to it thus far. So, but I know I'm definitely out of the danger zone because all the physical issues I was having are gone, like all of them. And I've talked about those issues on other lives and on I'm pretty sure I got a video on YouTube where I talk about it. It's a lot. It was a lot. And you can see I got my voice back. Like my voice was more I don't think I could really like duplicate how my voice was now, but it was really noticeable. Like my voice, it sounded like, like it sounded like I was at a party the night before, screaming my ass off all night. That's what it sounded like. But it didn't just last for a day. Like that was my voice. So that's that's all that's gone. All that's gone. And I haven't been on a scale in a little while, so I don't know where I'm at. But I know last time I stepped on a scale, I had put on I want to say 7 pounds. Last time I stepped on a scale. Why can't I see what anyone else is saying? I don't know. I have no idea. Would you take advice from a carnivore? No judgment, just out of alignment for me as a high raw vegan. I don't know if you've seen this, but I have a right now is scheduled for next Friday at 9 p.m. And I'm going to be going live with a guy that I don't know what you would call this dude. Because one, humans that eat animal flesh are not carnivores. They're not omnivores. And I'm not saying this just biologically, you know what I'm saying? I'm saying this just the way they eat. They don't eat like carnivores or omnivores. They think they do. You know, they're eating prepackaged, refrigerated flesh. There's no blood. You know what I'm saying? They're not eating the internal organs. They're not, like, their face is not planted in an animal's carcass. They didn't kill the animal. They didn't hunt the animal down, you know what I'm saying? And just, you know, as soon as they killed it, you know, ripped it apart and started eating. That's how carnivores and omnivores eat. You know, they don't kill their prey and then, you know, cut it open and take all its guts out and, you know, remove all the hair and skin it and cut it off. Stop. That's not what carnivores and omnivores do. So these people that think they're carnivores and omnivores are just confused. Like, no disrespect to any of them, but any person that thinks they're carnivore and omnivore is just dumb. Period. They're just dumb. They're lost in darkness. They're just fucking stupid. That's it. Right? But I understand what you're saying, and I mean, I wouldn't take any. I can't imagine taking any advice from them about nutrition or about how to eat. I don't even know if I finished saying. Did I finish saying what I was saying? But yeah, this guy that I'm gonna be talking to on live, we're gonna be, you know, just kind of. It's gonna be kind of like a debate, right? But this dude eats brains. He eats, like, everything he eats is raw. He don't eat anything cooked too, and he eats animal flesh. And he eats it raw, like he eats the brains and shit like that. So I posted about it on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook and TikTok. And I'm gonna be posting about it up until next Friday. So it's gonna be interesting. And I don't know this guy, but, you know, he I had seen him. I don't know. He showed up in my feed on Instagram and he was eating brains. And I was like, what the fuck? And I tuned in and I'm watching. And I just start commenting on the shit, you know. And he DM'd me. And he commented on one of my posts. It's like, I would love to debate you and make you look stupid or make you look like a fool. Some shit like that, he said. And I thought about it. Like, I'm not in a debate. Like, I don't need to debate. I have nothing to prove. I know that I'm walking in the light. You know what I'm saying? Shit. You know, people that like to debate, I feel like they're trying to convince themselves of what they're doing. So they need to hear themselves talk. I thought about it and I thought it would be interesting. Maybe gain me some more followers. So that's coming up. That's supposed to be coming up next Friday. Well, I'll say raw is probably, I can't even speak on it. I can't even speak on it because, you know, raw, okay, when you cook it, you make it carcinogenic, right? But if you eat it raw, it's like it's a lose-lose situation. You eat it raw, you're subject to, you eat it raw, you're subject to a lot of other diseases that come from eating raw flesh when humans eat it. I read one thing that said that it was just like humans cannot eat truly raw flesh. They cannot do it. I mean, like kill an animal and eat it right there on site. They cannot do it. And that's not what he's eating. And I may be corrected, on Friday. But as far as I know, he getting that shit out the grocery store. You know what I'm saying? And like if he's not, I highly doubt he got animals roaming around in his backyard. And when he want, to eat the flesh of something, he's going out there killing the animal and then just eating it right then. Even if he's going to a butcher. All of them animals, that are sold for commercial purposes as, to be eaten, they're all full of, antibiotics and vaccines and a bunch of artificial shit. Artificial chemicals for, to make them more tender, to, enhance the color, it's full of all of that. So, but yeah, it'll be interesting. You know what I'm saying? So divinely, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Hey, Blue, I'm just gonna call you. Oh, Blue Baru. I could say that. Blue Baru. I don't give a fuck about no enzymes. You know what I'm saying? Like everything. Like I've read on this so much, and he doesn't seem to believe any of the research. But everybody says the same thing. Like it's linked to heart disease, cancer, diabetes, and a lot of other diseases. Period. That's raw or cooked. Same thing. So yeah, I don't. That's an interesting comment. So divine. Yeah, I seen your comment today on Sunchild on YouTube about that. What's up, Gabriel? Yeah, he's not even a necrovore though. I don't even think he's a necro. Well, no, he would be a necrovore. He would be a necrovore because he's, it's still packaged and refrigerated, processed animal flesh. So yeah. Yep, that's right, Trevor. Hey, you full of shit, Stuart. The spiritual man does not require proof. You're full of shit. That's some shit that somebody will say when they can't prove the bullshit that they're saying. I don't know who that shit's supposed to work on. That shit ain't gonna work on me. I can prove every fucking thing I say. I can fucking prove it. And truth is common sense. Truth is common sense. It's not complicated. And the shit that you saying don't even make no sense. Like what? Answer me. What the fuck do we have a whole fucking digestive system for if we're not supposed to eat food? Tell me that. That whole digestive system is unnecessary if we're not supposed to eat physical food. What the fuck is all these hundreds of thousands of fruits here for if we're not supposed to eat food? And then like the shit is so stupid, you can't offer anything to support it. So then you say the spiritual man does not require proof. Get the fuck out of here. That bullshit. Adam, is that all one meal? Like, is that a salad? Like, what is that? New journey for me after workout meal. After workout meal. Kale, avocado, chia seeds, mushrooms, Brazil nuts, chia seeds, cherry tomatoes, lemon for dressing, seeded grapes. God damn. That's a lot of fucking shit to eat at one time, bro. That shit don't encourage me. That's a lot of fucking shit to eat at one time. Simplicity is key. You know, ideally, one thing at a time is best. Like I still like, and that's how I was eating up until I got underweight. If I would, I guess, discover a way I could put weight on eating just one thing at a time all day, every day, like I was doing, then I would probably go back to that. But I don't know of a way that I could do that. So, like right now, I'm eating two things at a time. And then not only are you, how much shit is that? Kale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You're eating 8 things at one time, 8 different things, because you got vegetables, you got kale, then you got chia seeds, then you got fungus, the mushrooms, then you got nuts, and then you got tomato. Like you got the hydrating fruits with the dry fruits, with the fatty fruits, with the fungus. That's a lot of shit, bro. That is a lot of fucking shit. I don't know. It sounds like a lot of shit to me. I don't know. But, you know, you could definitely be eating a lot worse too. So I'm just where I'm at. Like when I read that, I was just like, God damn. But I'm used to only eating one thing at a time. And I'm eating 2 things at a time now. And that's kind of a lot for me. Yeah, I think it's gonna be interesting, Shay. It's gonna be interesting. Okay, that was a huge salad. I know that motherfucker was delicious. I know it was, especially with the lemon on it. The I guess the debate, if you want to call it that, is gonna be Friday. Next Friday, what date is that? Well, I'm still waiting for him to confirm that. But so let's just say tentatively October 25th, and it's gonna be streamed live on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Mono meals are best. That's a fact, Alana. That's a fact too. So divinely, he said about eating that raw flesh. Let's not forget how long our intestines are, and we aren't cows. We don't have 4 stomachs. That's an excellent point. That is an excellent point. Jay said that ain't breaking down correctly. Simplicity is best. It is. But also, it's a journey, and he's new to his journey. So he could be eating a lot worse. He could be eating a lot worse. You know what I'm saying? Like everything he's eating is from the earth. He just mixed a lot of it together. You know what I'm saying? But none of what he's eating is from a laboratory. None of it's man-made. You know what I'm saying? Don't have all, as far as I know, don't have all the toxic, unnatural, bullshit ass chemicals in it, the artificial flavors and dyes and colors and preservatives and sweeteners. You know what I'm saying? So it's a large, it's 8 different things, but it could be so much worse though. So I definitely salute him. You know what I'm saying? Like getting to, like, if a person ever gets to a point where they're just mono milling, that's a journey. That is a journey. You know what I'm saying? Like there was a point in my journey where I couldn't eat mono meals, or I couldn't eat just one thing at a time. I just couldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? And now I can, and I do. I feel like most of what I eat is mono milling, but it took me years to get here though. It was a journey. And so it is for everybody, and everybody's process is different. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, shit, he winning in my eyes though. He's still winning. He fucking doing it. Like he's doing it. You know what I'm saying? At least he's doing it. Like a lot of people know shit and they never act on it. A lot of people know to do better and never do better. And he's on his journey. So I salute you for that, Adam. Absolutely. Don't take what I said the wrong way. I definitely salute you for your journey. You know what I'm saying, Trevor? Trevor says our digestive system is obviously designed specifically for fruits only. Everything else leads to premature death. Yeah, Ty, I've heard. I don't like. I'm familiar with people saying they've healed different conditions eating raw animal flesh. Like I am familiar with that. And this is what they're saying. I can't say whether it happened or not. I don't know enough of the details to really speak on it. I just know from what I've researched, what I've seen from countless sources, that it's linked to a lot of diseases. And the big 3 that more people have than anything else, and that kills more people than everything else combined: heart disease, cancer, and diabetes. And animal flesh is linked to all 3 of them. That's what I've seen. And if it's not, then what's responsible for, over 600 million people having heart disease worldwide? And what's responsible for over 500 million people having cancer worldwide? And what's responsible for over 500 million people having diabetes worldwide? And what's responsible for these numbers going up every year? One thing they all have in common is animal flesh. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you go to any hospital in the country, worldwide, they eat animal flesh. The people in there, the patients that are in there, regardless of what they're in there for, they eat animal flesh. How many people do you think are in the hospital that only eat fruit? I've never heard of anybody that only eat fruit having cancer, heart disease, diabetes. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the shit is just in your face. You know, I know people that died from cancer, heart attacks, strokes. You know what I'm saying? They all ate animals or animal flesh. They all ate animal flesh. None of them ate just fruit. You know what I'm saying? Like, at what point do you wake the fuck up? At what point do you be like, this is peculiar? And start making connections. And like, there's so much research that supports this. There's a lot of shit you got to ignore to eat that way. There's a lot of shit you got to ignore and just reject. So like, it doesn't, like, to me, it doesn't really matter. That's not of any importance to me if people are, you know, healing a disease, eating raw animal flesh, if it's linked to a lot of other diseases. Well, what are you doing? You just like, if it's true, you're just trading in one condition for another. So I'm gonna leave that there. My TikTok page is Kev Ramon. It's Kev.Ramon. Kev.Ramon. So the same thing is on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube. It just got the dot after Kev. None of them ate just animals either. That's true. That's true. What's the point? I'll tell you this. I can't tell you that for sure. But yeah, what's the point? Show me one, John Green. Give me somebody's page. I know you spelt all that wrong, but I get what you're saying. There are fruitarians on YouTube stating they got cancer. There's a lot of typos in that short little sentence. But give me some pages. I'll go check them out. No, I want some pages. I want some pages. Please don't say Steve Jobs. And don't say like that Russian chick never claimed to have cancer. But please don't say that Russian chick or Steve Jobs. I'm waiting for some pages, John Green. And don't act like you don't hear me. Did I transition slowly to fruitarian? I did. Like, matter of fact, I didn't have, you know, like people say they want to be a fruitarian, they want to eat just fruit. You know, that's not that wasn't my mentality when I started transitioning. I didn't even know what I was doing exactly. I didn't know where I was going. And I hadn't even heard of, Fruitarian. I was just, it started off with me losing weight or wanting to lose weight. And then I just started learning more and more about what I was eating. And the more I was learning, the more things I was eliminating from my diet. And then like one day I heard somebody talking about eating just fruit to heal a disease. And I was intrigued by it, and so I kept listening to this guy speak. And he never talked about it as a lifestyle, you know what I'm saying, as something you do forever. It was just to heal a disease. But for me, it was like, well, if fruits are that powerful that people can heal diseases off of them, then shit, why stop eating them? And so, it took, I ate a year of fruit. I ate fruit for a whole year. And then I fell off, because I had addictions, and I had to deal with those addictions, and so it was a transition. It wasn't just boom, I'm full standard American diet, and then boom, I'm 100% fruit. It was a transition that took place over, I don't know, maybe like a couple years or so, 2-3 years. I don't even know. I don't even know. But definitely a slow transition. I don't like vegetables. No, they nasty. There's no vegetable that I know of that I can just eat and enjoy in its natural state. When I used to eat vegetables, just as a toxitarian, I would eat them in a salad and I'd have to have a dressing. Or there was a period where I was eating salads with no dressing, and I was like just filling them up with banana peppers, and the banana peppers allowed me to eat without the dressing because they were so spicy, you know. But like the banana peppers weren't natural. That shit is soaked in some type of acid, I think citric acid or some shit that comes from black mold. you know like you buy banana peppers in a jar, it's not just a jar of banana peppers. That liquid in there is chemicals. It could be some artificial preservatives, whatever, I don't know. But you know what I'm saying, like I'm not eating just one vegetable, I'm eating like a what's his name, I think Adama, kind of like that. You know what I'm saying, like I'm eating a lot of shit at one time. It's vegetables in there, but there's other things in there too. It's not even a salad of just vegetables, you know. So it's not even just vegetables and fruit. You know what I'm saying? Like I'd have breadcrumbs in there, you know what I'm saying? Them dried onions or whatever, just crispy shit. You know what I'm saying? So if you go back further, there was some animal flesh in there. I just never enjoyed, I've never, I just don't like vegetables. So no vegetables for me. Are cooked fruits okay? Like boiled broccoli. You could definitely do a lot worse. You know what I'm saying? You could definitely do a lot worse. And you have to just keep in mind that you are on your journey and you are in a different place than me. And it's a transition. You're transitioning. So you have to, in order to sustain, you have to do what you can do at this point in your journey. You understand what I'm saying? Like you really, you just gotta be careful about asking people things, and like, is this okay? Is this okay? And who you ask, because asking me that, somebody that only eats raw fruit, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I used to eat cooked fruit, but I don't anymore. So for me, it's not okay. You understand what I'm saying? And, just from what I know about it, it's not okay. But if that'll keep you from eating some bullshit, then it is okay. And I used to cook, I ain't even gonna say cook, but more like heat up, because I used to buy like chickpeas in the can and quinoa in bag, like basically already cooked. So all I had to do, both of them were already cooked. All I had to do was heat them up. And both of them are fruits, right? That's where I was at in my journey. Like, eating those things kept me from eating a pizza or a burger or whatever this other fake shit is. It kept me from that. You understand what I'm saying? That's what I needed to do to get off of that other shit. Because you can't, like, if you just try to take one giant leap from eating the way you eat now, or just eating just the toxic bullshit that's not even food, and you just try to take this giant leap to eating nothing but food, that's likely not going to be sustainable. So, like, a happy medium. What's a happy medium? You know what I'm saying? Like I said, if eating boiled broccoli saves you from eating that bullshit, then do that. When I after I ate fruit for that year and then I fell off, I was eating a lot of vegan shit. And for me, that was like a happy medium, because the vegan shit, although that's not good, it kept me from going all the way back to the animal flesh. You understand what I'm saying? That's where I was at. You know what I'm saying? It was kind of like a lifeline that kept me from getting in too deep and going all the way back to where I started from. So your journey is your journey, and you have to do what you're able to do and sustain. So is anybody, I don't even know if he got to hear that Instagram sucks, man, on so many levels. Hey, I'm gonna check these channels out, John. I'm about to check them out. I ain't gonna check them out right now, but I'm about to put them in my search. What's up, Osra or Asra? Happy to have you on the live. Okay, so one thing I see right now, John, about this channel is this dude is a raw vegan. Raw vegan is not. Oh, and you said the interview fruit-based raw vegan. Raw vegan is not the same as eating just fruit. So I need another channel. Raw vegan, you could eat all kind of shit. I had a period where I guess I don't know, I was kind of like raw vegan. And I remember going to Chicago during this time, and they have raw vegan restaurants. I've never seen a fruitarian restaurant, but they have raw vegan restaurants. I had raw vegan cheesecake. I had raw vegan Mexican shit, empanadas. I had raw vegan brownies, raw vegan shit. There was a lot of raw vegan versions of standard American diet items that I had. Raw vegan is not the same thing as fruitarian, eating just fruit. I need another channel. What else you got? And see, everything you're talking about is raw vegan. You haven't said anything about fruitarian. This is fresh squeezed OJ. This is cold pressed. Just like you would make it, just make yourself with a juicer. And I get this from Whole Foods. Whole Foods is the only place that sells cold pressed juice. It's the only place. So if I want something to drink, I have to drive to Whole Foods. No one else has it. Everyone else has the pasteurized juice. It could be 100% juice, not from concentrate, but it's pasteurized. Whole Foods is the only place that I know that sells this. And they have a grapefruit too. And I believe they make this in-house. They got different bottles now. They got like fancier bottles. The bottles that used to come in was just real generic bottles. You know, like you could tell they just made that shit in the back. Now they got little fancy labels and shit. Like it didn't even have the little fancy labels on it. But yeah. Yep. Just like if you had a juicer and made it yourself. And they, as far as I know, they make this daily. Like they make it in the morning. Hey, I don't remember having, you know what, Mustafa? The canned garbanzo beans, they did like, I don't know, like I don't remember having gas from them. I could have, I just don't remember. But I did not like my bowel movements eating them. I didn't like them. So, you know, but it served is like that, all that served is perfect. Eating the garbanzo beans and the quinoa, that also kept me from going to the vegan restaurants too when I was going through that period. Because I got 2 vegan restaurants by me. And I was going to them like every week. I was hitting them bitches up every week. And you know, they selling straight bullshit in there, like both of them are. And so the garbanzo beans and the quinoa, if I'm getting those, then it's like, at least according to the packaging, this is like, that's only one thing. The garbanzo beans were in water and the quinoa was in nothing. And that's all it was. It wasn't a shitload of chemicals that I was eating. It was just the one thing. And back then, like when I was eating that, I would put salt on the chickpeas. And I had a sauce that I would put on them that was made from vegetables. It was a sriracha sauce. Again, I couldn't find this sauce anywhere but Whole Foods. It had about 6 ingredients, and all of them were vegetables. It didn't have, from what I remember, it didn't have any type of sugar in it at all. And it had like a spicy kick to it. Whole Foods was the only place I could find it. And it's the only sauce I would use. You know, for a while, they also had a barbecue sauce, and I used that for a while, but I got uncomfortable with the sugar. That one had sugar in it. The sriracha didn't have no sugar. But yeah. John, he said he's a raw vegan. He literally, like, opening the video, when I opened the video, it said raw vegan of 29 years. That's what his video said. That's not what you say. And let's just say that what you say is right. John, let's just say what you say is right. What you're saying is right. First of all, you said there were fruitarians, plural, that have developed cancer from eating just fruit. You only gave me one channel, one person. Where's the others? You said there are fruitarians with the S. You gave me 2 videos by the same person. And then let's just say if that was even true, if he developed cancer from eating just fruit, that's one person. Which I know it's not true. Unless he just, the only way that could be true is if he was new on his journey and got a long history of eating fucked up. That's the only way that could be true. And it would be his history that's responsible for it and not eating fruit. Period. Like I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt here. I know that's bullshit. I know that's bullshit. I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt. I'm giving you an opportunity to prove yourself. And you're trying to tell me that this dude is a fruitarian when he himself says he's raw vegan. Like his video opened up like that. And then you only gave me one person. There's over 1 billion people suffering from heart disease, cancer, and diabetes. And you attempted to name one person that you don't even know personally. You know nothing about this person that supposedly, according to you, not him, you develop cancer from eating just fruit. How many people do you know personally that develop cancer from eating just fruit? I know people personally. Like the people I talked about, like, are people I know personally. My sister died from cancer. She ate animals. Like my brother's friends died from heart attacks. And they ate hella animals. Like these people, they ate hella animal flesh. I know several people. I know this one girl in her 20s. I don't even think she's alive now still. She might be. Had cancer. Eats animal flesh. I know people with diabetes eat animal flesh. Sounding like you full of shit, bro. You sound like you just fucking desperate and reaching. Oh, that's what's up, Gabriel. You know, they don't have that in grocery stores here. Like they got like smoothie places that you could go to. Like they got a store called Pulp that makes smoothies, and if you just want juice, you could go in there and they'll make you a juice, but it's expensive. They shit expensive. Yeah, Whole Foods got some good stuff in there, man. They definitely have some things I can't get anywhere else. Oh, what's up, Amir? Don't you trying to make it easy? I want to transition to a fruit diet. How should I begin and make it easy for myself? You starting off with the well, I don't know. I ain't gonna say that. I will say this though, it's not gonna be easy. So if you're looking for easy, this ain't gonna be it. Like this journey never ends. Do you get burro bananas at Sprouts? I have trouble finding them. We don't have a Sprouts out here. And I've never had a burro banana. I had a Thai banana and it was okay. I didn't really care for it too much though. I don't think I care for bananas, period. I think bananas in general just don't resonate with me. Hey, Amir, I was thinking to start eating melons only. Good idea, or should I try something else? It's a good idea if that's what you want to do. Start with whatever you want to start with. Don't make it don't make it complicated. I know it's going to be hard not to make it complicated because we're not used to thinking in a simplistic way when it comes to what we eat. But literally, whatever fruit you like, start with that. And if there's like, if you feel like if you like melons more than anything else, then start with melons. Give yourself the best shot at sustaining the lifestyle. You know, this lifestyle, I was when I was in Whole Foods yesterday talking to the cashier. She was asking me about the way I eat. It's like, are you still eating just fruit? I'm like, yeah, that's for life. It's a lifestyle. Like, what do you mean? I wasn't temporary. You know, and we got to talking about that. And I was like, you know what? All I do is eat what I like to eat. That's my lifestyle. My lifestyle is just consisting of me eating what I like to eat every single day. That's what it is. That's what fruitarianism is for me. I eat what I like. Look at how simple that is. Do you see how simple that is? I eat what I like. That's it. I eat what I like every day. I eat what I want to eat every day. That's fruitarianism for me. You know what I'm saying? Like how beautiful that is. That is beautiful. I'm not trying to make myself eat fruit. I'm not trying to make myself eat healthy. I'm just eating what I like and what I want every day. And I eat as much of it as I want every day. Like it doesn't get any simpler or easier than that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want nothing else. Now, to like for me to get to this point, you know, I had to put forth some work. You know, it required effort. The work and the effort was all in the reprogramming of the mind. That's the work and the effort, reprogramming the mind. It's to stop listening to the lies and start listening to the truth. It's getting those truths that you've heard rooted and planted deeply in your heart. That's the work. That's the effort. It's speaking these truths to myself. It's reading these truths for myself. It's watching videos of people speak these truths. It's reading memes of people speak these truths. It's tuning into a live where somebody's speaking these truths. It's following people on social media that are living these truths and speaking these truths. That's the work. That's the effort. It's filling my circle up with people that are living and speaking these truths. This all contributes to the reprogramming of the mind. And I'm not listening to anybody else. So if somebody comes on and want to talk about fruits being unhealthy or whatever, I don't listen to that. But see, you got to know that fruits are life. You got to know that fruits are the truth. If you doubt that, you got to know that fruit is our species specific food. Now, if you doubt that, then you're going to listen to other people. And shit is just going to get confusing because you got people over here saying fruit is what we're supposed to eat and fruit is the best food on the planet. And then you got people over here that's saying fruits cause diabetes, fruits are high in sugar, fruits this, fruits that. Like John, fruit, this so-and-so guy, developed cancer from eating fruit. Steve Jobs died from eating just fruit. That Russian chick died from, like, you're going to hear that too. Right? And then if you go to a doctor, or not a doctor, but if you go to the hospital and you have a quack that you see regularly, and you try to tell that quack about you eating fruit, like they may give you some negative advice. I would be careful. Fruit ain't healthy. So you have to know that fruit is what you're supposed to eat. You have to start with the basic knowing that fruit is our species specific food. You have to know that. And, it could be a journey getting to the point of where you know that. Now, for me, I don't remember it being a journey. I remember just hearing it, and I remember it resonating on the inside of me. I remember like I just knew. I just knew. And I just knew it so strongly. Nothing else anybody said mattered. So anything I heard contrary to that, I don't want to hear it. I'm getting out of my consciousness, out of my awareness. I'm not giving you any energy or attention. I'm giving all my energy and attention to people that are speaking the truth about fruit. That's how it goes. And if you're at a place where you're not sure, first of all, you got to be honest with yourself, because I've seen a lot of people that try to, say that fruit is all we need and fruit is our species specific food. But I could tell by their actions that they don't believe that, because they consume other things. Like if you really believe that fruit was all we need, you wouldn't be drinking teas. You wouldn't be taking sea moss. You wouldn't be popping pills. Bladderwrack pills, burdock root pills. You wouldn't be doing all this other shit if you really believe fruit was our species specific food and you didn't need anything else. You wouldn't be taking supplements, vitamins, protein drinks. I don't know what the other shit that they got out, But you get what I'm saying? Like, your actions show that you don't believe that fruit is all you need. So I just look at, I hear what people say, like I hear you, but I'm listening to their actions. Their act, like the timeless phrase, actions speak louder than words. Actions speak louder than words. Like, if you eat fruit and drink water, then you obviously don't believe that fruit is all you need. You obviously believe you need water too. If you eat fruit and you eat vegetables, then you believe you need vegetables too. You don't believe that fruit is all you need. See, like, I know without any doubt that fruit is all I need. Like, there's no uncertainty in me about that. And my journey reflects that. And I don't know. Like, I can't even entertain the possibility of me being wrong. Like, I've tried. Like, I've questioned it. I just can't. I just can't. Like, it don't even make sense, not even a little bit, for that not to be the truth. Like, nothing else makes sense. That's where I'm at. So, yep. Yeah, seeded watermelon shit, they're like impossible to find now. Like, where I'm at, Cleveland, Ohio area. They're impossible to, like, they don't have them here no more. They gone. It's interesting how they have tons of seedless watermelon though. That's really interesting, but they don't have any seeded. What up, Alice? What up, Ja? Welcome to the live, bro. Coach Kev, this is my first time coming on your platform, brother. Can you share with me, where would a fruitarian get their protein for the body? Thank you very much for your answer. I haven't even heard this question in a long time. So, you're not supposed to eat protein. Your body makes protein. The process of creating protein is a process of divine intelligence and should not be interfered with by eating pre-made proteins by man or by other species. Just as, so most people like to eat, say, like cows or chickens for protein. Okay, where did that cow? The cow is not eating protein for protein. The chicken is not eating protein for protein. So let's take a cow, for example. A cow grazes on grass. Like, in its natural habitat, a cow is grazing on grass. I was literally just out in the country and I seen 2 cows, and that's what they were doing. They were in an open field. I don't think they were there to be eaten, and they were just out and they were grazing. And the whole time I was standing there talking to these cows, they was just eating grass. Big as fuck. These are animals that weigh over a ton. You know what I'm saying? And they eating grass. But then they extract the nutrients from that grass and create the proteins their bodies need. The amino acids. Amino acids are the building blocks of protein, right? These are the building blocks, but we are not supposed to do the building. Our bodies do the building. You give your body the building blocks and you let your body do the building, because there's not just one type of protein. Nobody knows how many proteins are in the human body. I've seen estimates as high as over 100,000. And not only do scientists, researchers, quacks, whatever, not know how many proteins are in the human body, they don't even know all of the proteins that are in the human body, or that the human body needs to function properly. They don't know. There's proteins that are out there that that they're not even aware of, which means that we're not aware of. There's thousands of different proteins that your body is using and in need of in order to function properly, not just one. So the way you ask that question, where would a fruitarian get their protein? You need different proteins for different functions all throughout the day. You understand what I'm saying? So there's no way you could just eat a ready-made protein or a pre-made protein, a protein made by another species, and that's just going to be the protein that you need. How do you know that's the right amount of protein? How do you know that's the protein you need and in the right amount? So it's kind of a lot to it, but it's really not. There's thousands of different proteins, and your body is creating proteins all throughout the day for different tasks or functions of your body. You don't know what protein your body needs and when it needs it and how much of it it needs. Nobody does. Only your body knows that. Your role is to consume high quality amino acids. You let your body create the proteins, plural, that it needs when it needs them in the exact amounts that are needed. Only your body knows how to arrange these amino acids in the perfect ratios to form the specific protein that's needed at the specific time in the specific amount. It's a process of divine intelligence. No human could ever duplicate this. You understand what I'm saying? A fucking protein powder is not going to do it. That shit is all laboratory made. That's not going to do it. And consuming a cow for the protein, that protein was made by that cow's body for that cow's body. Cows are not making protein for humans, just like cows are not making milk for humans. The milk from a cow is incompatible with our body. And one of the things they call that is lactose intolerant. No, that's bullshit. You're not a fucking cow. That's what it is. You're not a fucking cow. That cow did not produce milk for your dumb ass. That cow produced milk for her babies. And it's the same with protein. That cow's body is not producing protein for a human body. That cow's body is producing protein for that specific cow's body. And so we fucking kill the cow and eat the cow for the it's stupid. It's stupid. Same thing with the chicken. Same thing. Chickens are not eating protein. It's like, that would be like eating muscles to gain muscles. If you were to take a fucking bodybuilder and fucking cut his biceps off and eat his fucking biceps, thinking that if you eat his biceps, you're going to have biceps, that's dumb as fuck. I'm going to eat his chest muscles, so I'll have chest muscles. I'm going to eat his shoulders. I'm going to eat his traps. I'm going to eat his triceps, so I'll have shoulders and traps and triceps. It's not how that shit works. And when you eat protein like that, it causes it wreaks a lot of havoc in the body. There are so many diseases linked to protein when it's eaten like this, I can't even begin. Let me pull this shit up. And then there's this thing called protein misfolding. And the best way I understand that, this might not be totally accurate, but the best way I understand it is they call it's the protein misfolding is the misfolding of protein. But the way I understand it is the misarrangement of amino acids. It's the improper arrangement of amino acids. But let me just read some of this off to you, because it's a lot. And I've read this before, but I don't remember all this shit. So many diseases are linked to protein, including Alzheimer's disease, Huntington's disease, neurodegenerative diseases, ALS, Parkinson's disease, I don't even know how to pronounce that. Amyloidosis. It's a collection of diseases that occurs when the body produces an abnormal protein called amyloid. Cancer, intestinal discomfort, dehydration, nausea, fatigue, headaches, cardiovascular disease, blood vessel disorders, liver and kidney issues, and seizures. And if I kept going, there's more, because I don't even know how to pronounce this one. Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease, cystic fibrosis, Gaucher's disease, and there's more. This is all associated with consuming these unnatural proteins. Like, the only protein that should be in your body is the protein that your body made. Period. Your body will make the protein it needs. So you consume the building blocks, and you can get that from fruit. I believe you could get that from vegetables too. And these are your best sources by far. These are the sources we were intended to get the building blocks of protein from. It's my pleasure, brother. I love eating fruit too, Sunchild. What's up, Angela? I don't know what it is about bananas, man. I don't know. They just don't resonate with me though. I myself went on a fruit diet a while ago. Man, this comment is a little old. I'm just seeing it though. To help with my skin condition, and I've seen it work wonders. That's why I want to go on it again. It's just my parents make it difficult for me to do so. And yeah, parents don't understand. Most parents don't understand. You know what I'm saying? Most parents don't understand. So, and I don't know, I don't know anything about you, but yeah, that's tough. This is kind of a new age we're entering, and just people like old school people, they just kind of set in their ways for the most part. Definitely not all of them, but a lot of them are just set in their ways. And they've been living the way they've been living and eating the way they've been eating for decades, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, maybe even longer. And then this totally new information comes along that they've probably never heard before, like eating just fruit. You can't do that. You need a balanced diet. You know what I'm saying? You need protein. You're gonna be robbing your body of minerals and nutrients if you do that. Blah blah blah. That's what they've known all their lives. And so their child coming to them, it's just going to be hard for a parent to accept that from their child. Like, you know, because the attitude a lot of parents sometimes have is like, what do you know? You're just a child. You don't know shit. Fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? There's not a lot of parents, not from my experience anyway, that'll actually listen to their child. You know what I'm saying? And that are just humble enough to listen to their child with an open mind and consider what they're saying and like really take it seriously. So, but yep, I was just about to give my closing speech, Mexican Lucky, before your comment popped up. But hey, Kevin, I have a question for you. I completely agree. Eating only fruit makes the most sense. But what about the fruit is also man-made as hybridization and selective breeding? Man-made, okay, man-made referring to hybridization and selective breeding. That's like, as far as I know, that's pretty much everything. That's pretty much everything. You know, the only thing that I've read, and then like chickpeas, well, I can't even say you can't eat chickpeas in their natural state because I'm not sure anymore, because somebody was telling me that they soak their chickpeas in water and then they eat them. They just, you know, drain the water off and eat them like that, which I had never heard of that before. She said she soaks them for 3 days. Well, what if you hungry right now? Like, what if you want to eat right now and you don't have any chickpeas that's been soaking for 3 days? That's just like, that's not even natural. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I say, you got to work with what you got. You know what I'm saying? And as far as I know, everything has been tampered with to some degree. Everything. You know? So you have fruits, right? That you say you have fruits that were, you know, that are the product of selective breeding, you know, which is basically, it's like what they're doing with dogs. They'll take a fucking Cocker Spaniel and put it with a poodle. They'll have sex and then they call the baby a Cocker Poodle, right? So they do that same thing basically with fruits, right? So you got that. Like, what are your options? You got that. You got the rotting and the decaying animal flesh of murdered animals, right? And then you got all the laboratory made shit that's just full of artificial flavors, artificial colors, artificial preservatives. Just the whole shit is artificial. So, like, you gotta pick a route based on your options. You can only do what, you know, according to the options that are available to you. So if all we have to pick from is hybridized fruits, what are your other alternatives? Kill an animal and eat its flesh after it's been dead for about 30 days, which goes totally against our nature, right? Like, we don't even like the shit. That's why you got to do so much shit to it in order to eat it, right? That's a route. Eat vegetables, that's a route, right? Which most people don't even like vegetables and they raw. Like, you got to do a lot of, typically, like, there's people that like vegetables, but typically, generally speak, well, I'll speak for me. I don't like vegetables. So I'd have to do a lot of shit to them in order to be able to eat them. Right? But that's an option. And then you got the processed stuff. That's all fake, like completely fake, that has no nutritional benefit at all. Those are your options. And that's what it is. Unless you start growing your own shit. Hey, my package is here. But those are your options. So of all of the options that I know of, I'll choose the hybridized, selectively breeded fruit, like any day, like no hesitation. That's it. I mean, you got to think, I don't know how long we've been here, but nothing. I don't like, people say we've been here millions of years. I don't know. You know, thousands of years. I don't know. But I don't know, just say we've been here. I think I've even seen like, I don't know. I've seen ridiculous. I think I've even seen trillions of years. Let's just say we've been here hundreds of thousands of years. Nothing on this planet is as it was hundreds of thousands of years ago, or even millions of years ago, or however long we've been here from the beginning of humanity. Nothing is as it was then. The entire landscaping has changed. Everything is different. Countries are not the same. Like the borders have changed. Like everything is different. The animals are different. The animals that exist today didn't exist millions of years ago. Totally different animals now. Everything's different. Even we are different. We didn't look like this thousands of years ago or millions of years ago. We didn't dress like this. We didn't talk like this. We didn't act like nothing. We didn't have hair like nothing. Everything's different. This is where we at now. So again, of the options available to you, you have to choose what you feel is the best option. That's all you could do. Nah, you know what Mexican Lucky is? Kids are poisoned basically from the moment of conception. Kids are poisoned in their wombs throughout their formation in the womb. That's when the poisoning begins. It doesn't begin when they're born into this world. It begins before they're born into this world. It begins in the womb because the mother don't know how to eat. And so the mother is the first person to poison their child. That's what it is. She's not doing it like intentionally, willfully, purposefully, but she's doing it nevertheless because she don't know better. And why don't she know better? I don't know. I know my mother don't know better because she don't want to know better. And she's been fighting knowing better all her life. And that's the case with a lot of people. A lot of people don't want to know better. They don't want to hear the truth. They don't care about that. They want to continue doing the way they doing what they doing. And if they're doing it ignorantly, there's no guilty conscience. Right? Versus if they're hearing the truth. And now they got that shit playing over and over in their mind every time they eat. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is. That's the world we live in. You know what, son child? I've started to say that to myself, like, man, I wish I knew better, but everything happens the way it's supposed to happen. You know what I'm saying? Everything happens the way it's supposed to happen. There's no mistakes. So at whatever point you began being enlightened is when you were supposed to begin being enlightened. You know, divine timing, everything runs on divine timing. Everything. So, you know, there's no telling the person you would be today if you knew better decades ago. And that don't mean it would be like you would be a different person, you know, in a good sense. It could be in a negative sense. Like there's no telling how different your life would be if you knew what you know now decades ago. Same with me. I probably wouldn't. If I knew what I knew now back then, I wouldn't even have no kids. I have 3 kids. If I knew what I knew now back then, I wouldn't have any kids because I would have never talked to the mothers I have kids with. Because they don't, like, y'all don't eat like me. Y'all don't know what I know. Y'all eating this bullshit. I only eat fruit. I would have just passed them by. And being a parent, being a single parent, being a father, a single father is the best experience of my life. By far, hands down. There is no highlight greater than the highlight of being a parent, especially, and I'm not going to say just being a single parent because, you know, there was a period where, you know, me and my son's mom was co-parenting. Like we all lived together as a family. And those were some dope ass moments while it lasted. I mean, like, great moments. You know what I'm saying? And I would have never experienced any of that if I knew what I know now back then. So I wouldn't want to undo that. You know, I'm so happy that I got to experience being a father, raising children, and just all the fun. I had so much fun with them. I had so much fun with my kids, man. I had to be ignorant to have those moments. I had to be ignorant in these areas to have those moments. So, LaBash, what's up, LaBash? You know what's interesting about the protein myth is I never knew there was a protein myth until I started eating just fruit, and especially the watermelon. In 2023, during my 160 days of eating just watermelon, I had never heard so many people talking about protein in my life. I never heard anybody talk about it. Protein was optional. It was like an optional thing. It was something that, you know, like I would focus on if I was wanting to get stronger or build muscle. And I used to drink protein shakes and, you know, I would eat like well, it's not chicken once it's dead, but I would eat that bird carcass, the flesh off of that bird carcass. You know what I'm saying? But it was just to you know, get bigger. I just wanted to build muscle, get bigger. I never seen it as the necessity that everybody seems to see it as. And I was totally unaware of it until I was doing the watermelon, because so many people, where you get your protein, where you get your protein, where you get your protein, you're not getting no protein, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? What's all this protein shit? I can't, man. So, yeah, but obviously, nearly everyone has bought into it. And I mean, it's crazy to me how people have bought into it. It's like, wow, like I've had people ask me that in person. Like I tell them I eat fruit. What about protein? Like, what? Really? And the thing is, people are just incredibly ignorant on protein, just as they are on everything else. Hey, it's my pleasure, Ja. Hey, Adam, all that matters is today, right now. Right now. Because that's all there is right now. That's what matters. Nothing else matters. 5 minutes from now don't matter. Like shit. I've seen people die of heart attacks, just like literally. Like 1 minute I'm talking to them, and the next minute they're dying of a heart attack. So you don't even know what's going to happen 5 minutes from now. You don't have 5 minutes from now. All we have is right now. So I'm always striving to make right now the best right now it can be. Yeah, I love being a single parent, man. I loved it. I was a single parent to 3 children, 2 boys and a girl, and I loved it. I loved it. And they loved it too, because when they were with me, like all that arguing and fighting and shit, like from the moms, like they wasn't getting that with me. All the yelling and all that shit, and just the like the moms would, like the moms were just toxic, and so they're constantly yelling at them, and all these different things, and just really like speaking curses over them, calling them dumb, calling them stupid, all these, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with you, and like all this type of language, like this is what they're hearing. So they love being with me too, because they wasn't getting that from me. Like I was just like, hey, let's just all do what we know we supposed to do. We all live here together. Let's act like it. You know what I'm saying? Let's all contribute, pitch in, blah, 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 and have fun. And of course, I had to say something to all of them about cleaning up and doing different things that they didn't want to do. But like generally speaking, those were just great times. Those were the best times of my life, by far. Especially once they got out of diapers. That's when they got out of diapers and they could feed themselves. I didn't really like the diaper stage. Fuck that shit. I didn't like that stage. But once they could go to the bathroom on their own, that it was really just that part. Like, oh man. And we could go to the parks and the playgrounds and shit. Swing and slide boards and run around. Oh man. Oh man. We had so much fun. But yeah, I'm about to get off of here, man. I'm about to get off of here. There go that. I hit that 2-hour mark. I wasn't trying to. But about to get off of here. Thank you everyone for hanging out with me. Thank you, Osra. I think Osra. Is it Osra or is it Osra? Is it a long O or a short O? And it was great having you on. I don't remember seeing you on here before. But yeah, y'all all enjoy the rest of your day. And I'm going to try to get back on here soon. So far, I've been coming on every day, different times, but I've been coming on every day. So I'm going to definitely strive to get back on here tomorrow.